I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, and I didn't start making money from it until I was about 21 years old. When I started my most recent business, or my business before that led into my most recent business. And if you want to be successful, I have a few tips. I'm just going to drop a few words of wisdom and just some advice, and hopefully this helps you kind of get past like a plateau, or if you're starting, or if wherever you're at, you're gonna have a spot to kind of relax for a bit and kind of hear my thoughts on your journey. Because dude, we're all entrepreneurs, we're all young. Odds are you're going through the same thing, or you're trying to go through the same thing. So basically, I was stuck at nothing for years. I started trying to do different types of entrepreneurship paths when I was I think I started when I was like 15 years old, and it all started with like drop shipping. It all started with that kind of stuff: drop shipping, Amazon FBA, even day trading. But then I was like, fuck, I need money for that, and I didn't have money for that, so shit. But it's not really going to be me talking about business. It's going to be me talking about the fact that I did end up finding one thing that I loved, one thing that I was able to find my passion with, and that was fitness coaching, because I was in great shape. I was an athlete my whole life, and I learned how to monetize and utilize that, and scaled up to $40,000 to $50,000 a month as an online fitness coach with 1,100 followers at the time. And when it comes to getting there, the number one thing that broke me and decided me to be successful compared to like all the other versions of me that I was before, and honestly all the other versions of people that I see on the internet and in the world now that are trying to be entrepreneurs or trying to be coaches or trying to do anything with their life, they make a lot of middle ground decisions. They make a lot of what I call gray area decisions, right? There's two decisions in my mind: a yes and a no. Both are definite. They're a red and a green. There's no yellow. There's no gray area between doing something and not doing something. It's black and white, no gray. That was what made me successful. Was I was able to take the hard things and make a clean cut decision, whether it was my time I was spending with people, whether it was my time I wanted to spend on my business, whether it was a, hey, do you want to come? It was a yes or a no, never a maybe. It was never, hey, should I start this? It was a yes or a no, never a maybe. When I would ask myself questions like, hey, should I take this risk? Hey, should I make this investment? Hey, should I do this? Hey, should I wake up at 4 a.m. so I can go to the gym before my call? It was never a maybe. It was never a maybe if I want to. It was always a yes or a no. And it was about making no more gray decisions and making black and white, right? A yes or a no decision, never a maybe. So if you ask me to go out, no. If you ask me, have you been spending all of your time working your ass off? I will say yes. Hey, Andrew, do you want to make an investment in this? Yes. If I have the, the actual thoughts and the news and everything behind it and the, what it is, if I have like actual information on it, then yes, I'll make the investment. But hey, Andrew, do you want to take a risk and start this business? Yes. It was never a no. It was never a yes. It was never a maybe. It was always a yes or a no. And I think the problem with so many people is they're like, oh, go to the gym tomorrow. I'll start my cold shower routine tomorrow. I'll start, journaling tomorrow, meditating tomorrow. I'll start eating healthy tomorrow. I'll start the business tomorrow. Those are all gray areas. For me, I was a fucking loser. I was a fuck up. I hated myself. There's nothing good about myself that I liked. I looked in the mirror and I hated who I was. And it wasn't until I started doing that exactly, looking myself in the eye, in the mirror, and going, fuck, I hate you. And what I saw was a bunch of gray decisions that brought me to that situation, that brought me to that position of, fuck, I hate this guy that I see in the mirror. And it wasn't genuinely until I made a cutout of a dream version of myself in my brain. I was like, that's who I want to be. That's who I want to be. And I had such a clear cut image of who the fuck I wanted to be. And then from there, I just wrote down the habits, wrote down the steps, right? So I guess you can kind of say this video is based on, it should be titled like how to become who you want to be, or how to become your higher self. The number one thing I did, and I'll bring you through all the steps. First things first is I actually broke down and had an image in my head of who I wanted to be as a man. Physique, haircut, watches, cars, body, clothes, wife, lifestyle, house, everything, right? Traveling, friends, family, business, all of it, how the world perceived me, all of it. And from there, when I look at that version of myself from a third perspective, like as if it's not even me, I look at that man and I go, what is that man doing? And then I would sit there I with a paper and a pen. I wrote down 1 to 10. 1 to 10 habits that man probably does every single day. All right. What was the next step? Accept that I'm not doing those things, and that's why I am where I am. Absolute accountability. Brutal accountability. To the point where it hurt and it destroyed me and it broke me. From then, I'd say I took all 10 different habits, broke them into sub-habits, right? So if it was like, he follows a workout plan. I built out a workout plan. I built it out. Then it was diet. I built out a diet. Then it was has a better mindset. I broke down different types of reasons to have a mindset, and I broke down each of them. From meditation, I broke down meditations to do. Then I went into reading, wrote down books to read, audiobooks, bang, like podcasts, bang, music, bang, right? I wrote down what he would have, he trains, he eats, he works. I wrote down every habit that would kind of get me to that person, what he does, his sleep schedule, bang, habits, bang. And I broke down every habit until I got to that point where I was like doing them, and I didn't make them easy, because making them easy and kind of like weaning your way in and dipping your toes in that water and to see what the temperature is before you dive in, that is a gray decision. It's a maybe. I jumped in the water and it was freezing cold. I was able to find my way and find who I was on the way out. And I think that's what self-improvement is. It's no lukewarm. It's no dipping your toes in. It's, I hate who I am, and I'm going to jump into this water, and I'm either going to drown or learn how to swim. And it's the same with entrepreneurship and being successful. I'm going to fall off this cliff, and I'm hoping I can find my way on the way down. Because I've never seen a bird land on a branch. He doesn't trust the branch. He lands on that branch, and if it breaks, does he die? No, because he trusts his wings and he starts flying. So believe in yourself that you can do it too. So find who you want to be, break it down, and become that version of yourself that's deep rooted inside of your head. And make it happen. I love you. God loves you. Peace.